This is Chew on This with your host, Monique Baker McCormick, and her co-host, Michael Van Tull, powered by the McCormick Report, Detroit's longest-running online community.
This is Chew on This Detroit. This is Monique Baker McCormick, host of the show.
Yes.
Host of the show.
Yes. Hello, we're back.
Yeah.
Monique Baker McCormick, and this is Chew on This Detroit. You know, this is powered by the McCormick Report, just to provide and make sure you have news that you can use, that you can count on, that you can trust.
Yes, and my name is Michael Van Tull, and I am so excited. We've got a segment today called What Up, Though? You know, this is Detroit, and
What up,
you can
though?
go anywhere in the world, and if you just say that, What Up, Though, they know you are from the Motor City.
That's right. That's right.
So we're going to be talking about a few topics today.
Well, let's talk about something real funny. The court case of the lady, Mike, you were just telling me about that she was in court. Tell us a little bit about that. It's kind of hilarious to me.
You know, that was in Michigan.
Somewhere in Michigan, right?
I'm trying to find it right now.
Oh, you don't have to find it. I mean, it's okay. I just really wanted to talk about it. But it really was just about a woman who was in her car driving when she was supposed to be in court. So she was late for court.
And she was not supposed to be driving.
And she wasn't supposed to be driving. And here is a little part.
It was in Michigan's 33rd District Court. I didn't look up to see where that was.
Yeah.
Well, you're not in the drive. You weren't in the
gotta
driver's
see the video.
side. You think I'm that stupid? Sir or ma'am, can you start your video and tell us your name, please? You got to start your video right now.
All right, let's see.
Let's start with that. I just entered a default judgment.
Is there as me?
You cannot be driving, ma'am. What are you doing? Come on.
I'm not driving.
Meanwhile,
I'm
she's
a
driving.
passenger in a
Right.
car.
And I
You're
don't
still
know if
not.
Facebook
I'm not
can hear.
hearing
Yeah.
cases with people
Oh.
driving
Yeah.
or as passengers in cars.
I will have my driver pull over. Hang on 1 second. I'm sorry.
So the gist of it, she was lying to the judge.
Am I
About
crazy, or does it not look like you're driving that car?
But
I'm not driving.
But he could
All right,
clearly
I'm
see.
and we could all see that she was in the driver's
What
seat
side of the car
with
you
the
on?
seatbelt
I'm
on,
on
and she
the
was driving, but she
left-hand
continued double
How would you
down
be on
on
the
the fact
left-hand
that
side
cut
if
it
you were a
off. Yeah,
passenger?
it was-
doubled down on the fact that she was not driving, that she was a passenger. But check it out.
The things
Judge
people do.
McNally's courtroom,
Right.
Michigan's 33rd District Court, entertaining. Every once in a while, Metro Detroit especially, shows up on viral.
Right. And
On
that's
social
one
media.
of them. That's one of them. Wow. So what else is going on? What up, though, Mike?
Yeah, a few things. Meta, which is Facebook and YouTube, had some issues in court where they lost a major case, and there are a number of more cases to come, but saying that they, illegally targeted young people. And,
yeah.
So we'll be hearing more and more about that.
Yeah, because when you think about it, though, I think, as a young person myself, we had a lot of challenges just being young, and our self-esteem is not all there. You're just not all there when you're that young.
Yeah. And you're influenced,
right.
greatly influenced by things.
Exactly.
And you're being bombarded with stuff as a young person, and I think that's where the issue comes in. So, the TSA is still not being paid. The gridlock in Washington, and even as of tonight, it still doesn't look like they're going to come to an agreement to do that. But my thing is, let's not forget that 2 Americans were killed by ICE over the past year.
Right, and so why do we want to fund that?
But they got money already. It's in the big beautiful bill.
No, I'm saying ICE. It's like
right,
and they do. They have
they
what 75 something million or billion or something, some enormous number to support ICE when we really need people at TSA and they need to be paid. So
the war,
the games.
The Iran war is still going. It's costing us at least $1 billion a day. The Department of War wants another $200 billion to fund the war. And this is where a lot of people are like, do you know how much we can do with $200 billion budgeted towards this country and those who really need it? But now we've already spent billions on this war, and the War Department wants $200 billion more. It doesn't make sense. That's a lot.
So many things.
We could have solved so many issues right now with $200 billion.
Yeah,
and what was all that Doge stuff for? And now we're spending money like crazy right now. $1 billion a day.
$1 billion a day. And the Republicans want to blame the Democrats, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, but the Republicans are in power. They can do whatever they want. They can make sure and fund everything.
Everything.
They can move this out of committee and pull it off this bill and let it pass, and then we can have time to work on the TSA. The ICE issues. We can pull ICE out.
They budget. Have all the power. Period.
And then with the stroke of a pen, the president can make it happen. So. Yeah,
I know. It's just rhetoric.
Locally, a couple of state reps are termed out.
You mean Senate and state reps, but in particular, we just went to Lansing
and senators.
We just came from Lansing yesterday with the Youth Council, the Wayne County Civic Youth Council. And I'm so very proud of them. They created a resolution that I have here.
This is the Wayne County Civic
Youth Council. It's called Financial Education for All. Now, this is a policy resolution that young folks in the Civic Council researched and prepared, and it deals with financial literacy. That is what 10th through 12th graders in the Civic Council is concerned about. They're concerned that their families, their parents don't necessarily have the financial aptitude to manage their lives, and they're concerned about their future, and they should be. And so they're saying like, hey, if my mom or my dad would have known about, saving money for college, or if they knew about credit cards and how credit card debt can cause bad credit. So they created this resolution that's called Financial Education for All. And I will read part of it, not all of it. The Wayne County Civic Youth Council advocates for the expansion and enhancement of financial education and literacy in classes beginning in the 9th grade as preteens and teenagers between the ages of 13 to 15. And they are the best age range to begin y'all, managing and learning to manage their money. So this, again, is coming from young people. This is what they want to see in schools as part of their curriculum, they want to see at least one class that teaches basic financial literacy and life skills.
I understand why.
So we went to
they did this.
Yeah, so we went to Lansing yesterday, and they met with Senator Chang, Senator Kavanaugh. She is the chair of the Finance Committee, and she also met with us. Well, not only did they meet with them, but they also were introduced in the gallery. So they had a great experience yesterday. They toured the Capitol, and then they sat down and explained this resolution thoroughly as to why they wanted it. So it was a great day. Now, what we was sad really to hear for them after meeting with Senator Chang is that she's termed out. You know, this is her last term.
And so is Sylvia Santana. Too,
yes,
right?
Yes, and Erica Geis, Senator Geis. All of them are termed out. And so we have some interesting races that I'm hoping that we're all going to be paying attention to and doing our homework. Because with all of the fake news, literally fake news that you can watch with your own eyes and is actually fake, you know, fake videos and things of that nature.
There's a lot of that.
As we rev up, y'all, for this campaign year, please be aware not to just believe stuff that you hear, not to believe the things you see.
Yep.
Look for at least three sources of information. So if you see it here on this show, you know, of course, you're going to have some bias, you know, in certain media outlets. You're going to have a little bias. So it's always good to have another 2 or 3 ways of finding out information. So you hear it here, you go look it up, read it in the news. You know, you might go ask someone that's in that field if you really are interested. It's just like if you had a diagnosis of some serious disease or health,
you want to get a second opinion.
What would you do? You wouldn't just go by one opinion.
Yeah, somebody,
So,
one of the dealerships told my son that he needs a new engine. It's a 2020 Mazda, and we ended up going to an independent mechanic to have him take a look at it. So if you, in your daily lives, if something, you know, you just don't take one person or one establishment's opinion, you go somewhere else. For myself, when I get my news from a variety of sources. I get it from the major networks. I get from Reuters. I downloaded the Reuters app. I go to CNN. I go
some
to
podcast
BBC.
Yeah.
For like international news, I go to the major networks. But I don't just look at one. And
Mike, sometimes I even look at Fox 2 News or Fox Network.
Yeah,
because you want to hear.
You want to see what they're talking about.
Yeah,
and you want to see what they're talking about.
Right, even though you know most of the time, you know what they're saying.
There's a lot of fake news.
Exactly.
There, sure. A ton of fake
but
news.
You want to know.
There's sometimes that there's a big news story going on in Washington or around the world, and Fox is not covering it. It just because it doesn't fit into their narratives, so they don't even. Sometimes I'm like, I'm flipping through, and Fox is the only network that's not carrying something, you know, and everybody else is, and it's almost like, what kind of planet am I on? Why?
I know, because they don't want you their base to know.
Right. They don't want their
certain
base
things.
to know.
They like,
Right.
oh, they don't need to know that,
Like-
so we're not going to report it.
Like
you know,
like a Democrat winning in Trump's district in Florida.
exactly. They'll just leave that totally out, like it never happened, guys.
But I understand, and the
literacy
I wish
piece.
I could.
Yeah.
And going back to the youth council.
Also,
Let me move this so. And this resolution on financial education for all. There's so much. I'm old enough. When I had a savings account, my mom took me to the bank and the teller stamped it with the date and my deposit amount. Okay, I had a savings account. You know what's out here now? We got payday loans. We got predator loans. We've got high interest rate loans, credit cards. We've got those non-bank stuff, Chime, Cash Apps, payroll cards where you get paid with a debit card instead of your, instead of a check. There's so much stuff out here now that you've got to think about. Does this work for you? Am I paying too much in fees? Is this interest rate too high? Even though I've got, like, let's say you got a 700-800 score, but the credit card company wants to charge you 28% interest, you have earned.
and Mike, talk about your background. This is why he's passionate now about this.
You've earned
Banking background.
You've earned that ability to get low interest or no interest loans at that point. With that high of a credit score, you do not need to be paying. And then you might want to get a bank account so that you can establish a relationship with that particular bank, so that you won't have to rely on a lot of these other high interest and costly type of banking relationships. These people are out
They're
here to
just
make
ripping
money.
you off.
Yes, they're out here to make money off of you.
That's right.
And they try to get you when you are the most vulnerable, when something happens, when you desperately need some money. Here they pop up
and then want
offering you something
30% interest. I've never heard of these high.
Yes, and you'll never pay it off. And what they do is they try to catch you when you're most vulnerable.
Yes.
Let's say you just got laid off,
Yeah.
and you're applying for a new job, and you need money to get you from. Look, the TSA agents are going through this right now. Okay, and they're vulnerable right now, and there are a lot of predators out here. But not just for them, but for all of us. So this is right on time.
It is. I was so proud of them, and this is what they came up with. I had nothing to do with it, but what they made me think about when they talked about how their parents need help. Their parents. So what I am going to do is have maybe once a month we're going to talk about money management skills or some resources that are available to help protect you and protect your family. Because this generation is now we're not making more than our parents. That's what they say now. That the current generation, my generation actually, and my children won't do better. That generation before won't do better than the one after.
Right.
It's like we're doing worse than better for ourselves.
Yes, it's getting worse. I know, I'm old enough, and we don't have to discuss how old I am, but I'm old enough to know that my generation, we did better. We were one of those generations that did better than our parents did, and they did better than that.
But now,
their parents. But now it's the other way around. Now we're doing worse.
That's right.
The generations are doing worse than the parents out here now.
So we need to start talking about how do we build back.
So that's very time.
Build back our wealth in our community and protect what we do have. And it's like now it's tax. Well, your taxes were due last month. Property taxes. March 22nd, I think, was the last day without penalties. But why? Why get to that point where you could lose your home and it cost, it's going to almost cost twofold because you waited or whatever the situation is. We have to talk about how you avoid those situations
or bad financial decisions. And I think that's what this resolution is all about. Because it will, the more you know, the better it is to know how to budget and make the right financial decisions. Because and then don't get mad at me, but some people are going to have to kind of live within their means. You know, I see stuff all the time, you know, and I'm not saying I'm perfect, because there's some stuff that I get that I probably shouldn't get, you know, that I don't really need it. But you have to start thinking about, do you really need to purchase that outfit?
That's right.
And just go get something cheaper from, you know, don't
resale. What about a resale?
Yep, resale. Right. You don't have to go to Somerset and purchase this stuff for much higher than you know that's really worth.
And Mike, we had this
go to Myers and get the shirt.
We had that exact conversation.
Do you know Myers sells clothing for men, women, and children?
And some nice
Walmart
things.
too.
Nice things, guys.
But so you don't need the designer stuff.
We don't have to.
And you don't need that Mercedes. You don't need that 2026 or 2027 Mercedes either.
Because soon as you pull it off the block, off of that lot, it depreciates.
Yeah, and
like that.
You still got to pay the car note. And there's a lot of people out here that are doing whatever they need to spend to get into one of those cars. But you're going to be paying heavy car note. You're going to be paying the car insurance. Are you ready for repairs? This is so much stuff. But all this is part of this financial thing, and
we're going to start.
This is great.
This is going to be a segment of ours. I'm going to make it my business, because we only can do better when we know better. Yeah, and that's what we're going to do.
Where's my jacket from? Oh, well, never mind.
What?
I was just nothing.
He got on the designer outfit. He was just about to say,
it was from,
I got this. But it is a designer one. You can't even talk
I just looked on it. It says Banana Republic. Okay.
See?
All right. Yeah. Let's move on to something else. Okay. Obviously, I could have got this cheaper. Okay.
But he didn't. Okay. But that's okay. It's okay to treat ourselves sometimes.
Right, Dr. Vertanji? I could have got this cheaper. By the way,
elections.
I went to her mental health.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Did you make it?
Nope. Right. I wasn't able to make it.
Well,
but
I made it. We were there. We were representing at her mental health summit. So thank you, Dr. Vertanji, for putting on that mental health. Absolutely.
So elections are coming up. Don't forget, every election is important. It's in August, but do you know that they're trying to move our elections to May, the primary? That's just part of this whole suppression thing to get us all confused.
Wait, the Michigan primary?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. It's just like, what? I mean, it's not going to happen like this year. Our primary, let me say this very clearly, is August 4th. The Michigan primary is August 4th this year. But there is a Senate bill to move the primary to May in the future, which is like, okay, why are we doing this? Is this, again, to confuse voters?
And why does it have to be changed? I mean, we're at a point where we've got those dates already set. And it's been working for us. So why is it?
Exactly.
And then I hear rumors that possibly ICE may be at polling sites in November. I'm hearing that now too, especially since they have been dispatched down to the airports and to help with TSA. And it all sounds all nice and helpful, but I'm just saying, just be careful about believing and seeing what's going on. Trump already said they're rehabilitating their image out of this.
Yeah.
But just be careful. You can start hearing, and then there's a big bill in Washington now to require you to have proof of U.S. citizenship. You
mean the SAVE Act?
SAVE, yeah,
which is not saving anybody.
You
it's
will
crazy.
not even be able to use your driver's license.
Well, a person like me with a hyphenated name, Baker McCormick, I wouldn't be able to vote.
So
as an elected official. I would go to the polls with my birth certificate, because they're asking us to bring our birth certificate to the poll. And if it doesn't match your birth certificate, then that's not that's not you.
You have to follow the procedures to conform to whatever the law is.
Whatever the law,
so,
which would for some people, they would go to the polls not even knowing. Because I've been voting for I don't know how long, but I would walk into if I didn't know, and I got to the polling site and they said, "Oh, you this isn't your birth name. You can't vote. This is what y'all president want to he's holding up everything for the SAVE Act.
Yeah.
He's telling the Republicans in the Senate, no, don't pay TSA. If you pay TSA, basically he just wants them to hold out, not to pay TSA, in order to get his SAVE Act passed. That's the whole fight right now. But tomorrow, Saturday, the 28th, don't forget. No King's March is this coming Saturday, the 28th. They're all over the place. Just go online, pull up no King's March by Indivisible. That's the group that is sponsoring it. No King's March.
All over the country, too. So.
All over the country. So I know there's one in Livonia, there's one in Detroit. Just make sure you're there.
I think they're expecting. It seems like every King's Day
they're getting larger,
to be bigger and bigger and bigger,
and larger crowds. That's right.
But it apparently it's been peaceful protest every time. There's never been a problem, and let's continue to do that because you don't want to have any excuse for any problems. But there has not been, so it's it's not even worth talking about. But
so anyway, thank you all for coming. We had a great conversation today. We've kind of been all over the place, but what we're going to make sure we do is have a segment on money management, money smarts. We're going to come up with a nice little name for it. I think we'll do that. And if you have any young people that are interested in understanding government and coming up with their own policies, their own issues that they think need to be addressed by elected officials, make sure that they join the Wayne County Civic Youth Council. And they can reach out to us or to my office. My office number is 313-224-0884. Again, it's 313-224-0884. And applications are available for youth in the 10th through the 12th grade. Yeah.
And that is, I was...
No, you're not you weren't in the driver's side.
I spent 32 years in banking. I just converted over to this political career over the last 4 or 5 years. But I did serve 32 years in banking, and I tell you, I learned a lot during that time.
And we're going to start sharing some of that.
Yes,
yeah,
and some of that knowledge we'll share with you, definitely.
Yes.
But it's been great.
It has. As always, making sure that we share the information we know. Chew on this, Detroit. Make sure you share this segment with your family, friends, anyone who you think might need the information.
Yeah. Oh, and we just started Ask the Commissioner, and the next one we had one today at the Redford Township District Library, but we're going to have it at different places each month, usually on the last Thursday. So we'll keep you up to date on that. So,
yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for joining us today.
You can catch us on all the, tell your friends, your relatives, business associates, your coworkers. We're available, obviously, on Facebook. We're available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Amazon. There's no reason to miss us.
And you can email us if you have any questions or would like us to consider a topic at chewonThisDetroit@gmail.com. chewonThisDetroit@gmail.com.
Thanks for listening
Thank you.
and watching us.
Yes.
On Chew on This Detroit.
This is Chew on This with your host, Monique Baker McCormick, and her co-host, Michael Van Tull, powered by the McCormick Report, Detroit's longest running online community newsletter since 2008.